Life brings us face to face with the undeniable truth that people come and go. We bond with others, build connections, and often anchor our emotions to those relationships. Yet, what happens when those bonds break? How do you handle the emotional weight when someone no longer occupies the same space in your life, or when you realize they've never shared the same emotional investment? You might ask, how do I stop caring? Or can I truly detach emotionally without losing a piece of myself? This is where Stoicism, particularly the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, offers us a path. The Stoics were masters at understanding human emotions, not by avoiding them, but by learning how to balance their grip on our lives. Emotional detachment isn't about becoming cold or indifferent, but about regaining the power to act with clarity and inner peace. In this video, I'll guide you through 5 timeless Stoic rules on how to emotionally detach from someone using Marcus Aurelius's wisdom as our beacon. This isn't just about theory, it's practical advice meant to reshape the way you engage with yourself and others. Rule 1. Understand the impermanence of life. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. When it comes to emotional attachments, we often cling to our personal perspective of someone, a narrative we create about their importance in our life. But the reality is, all relationships are transient. One moment you're close, the next they're gone, whether through distance, death, or the slow fade of intimacy. People leave. It may seem bleak, but this is the Stoics' first rule of detachment. Embrace impermanence. When you realize that no connection is permanent, you become more conscious of the present. Have you ever tried holding on to a handful of sand at the beach? The tighter you squeeze, the quicker it slips away. This is a natural law of life. The more we try to possess something or someone, the faster they fade. In my own experience, I had a friendship that spanned over 10 years. We shared everything: dreams, fears, late-night conversations. Yet over time, things changed. As much as I resisted, the distance between us grew. The emotional investment I had made felt like a chain holding me to someone who no longer reciprocated the same connection. It wasn't until I accepted that the friendship had run its course that I could finally release that emotional weight. Marcus Aurelius would have advised the same. Things will end, and you will suffer less when they do. Rule 2. Master your emotions through rational thought. There's a tendency to believe that emotions control us. You feel pain, sadness, and anger. Those reactions come naturally when you're emotionally attached to someone. But here's the hard truth. Emotions are not reality. They are a product of your thoughts, beliefs, and interpretations of events. Marcus Aurelius and the Stoics deeply believed in this principle. We are not at the mercy of our emotions. Our emotions are at the mercy of our thoughts. The Stoic response to emotional detachment is to shift your focus. Instead of giving your emotions control, ask, what are the facts here? How can I think about this differently? You must choose thoughts that free you from emotional suffering, not thoughts that fuel it. For example, during a breakup, you're emotionally shattered, replaying conversations in your mind and overanalyzing every detail. The Stoic response would be to stop and ask, what are the facts? Is the relationship truly over? Or am I inflating the situation with my own emotional turmoil? I once found myself in a similar situation with a close friend. We had been discussing something important, and suddenly they stopped responding. At first I thought nothing of it, but as the hours passed I started feeling unease. Maybe they were upset with me, I thought. By the time the night ended, I convinced myself that the friendship was on the brink of collapse. But when I stopped to examine the situation, I realized nothing had actually happened. My friend had simply gotten busy. This clarity came from remembering Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. Focus on what's within your control, your thoughts and actions, not the outcome or the person's feelings. Rule 3. Practice negative visualization. At first glance, negative visualization might seem like a strange or even counterproductive practice. Why would anyone want to deliberately imagine losing something or someone they care about? Doesn't that just add unnecessary stress? The truth is, this Stoic exercise, championed by Marcus Aurelius, is one of the most powerful tools to help you emotionally detach, not by hardening your heart, but by preparing your mind for life's inevitable losses. The idea is simple but profound. By imagining the worst-case scenario in advance, you lessen its emotional impact when or if it actually happens. This doesn't mean you become fatalistic or pessimistic. It means you're training yourself to accept reality as it is, rather than how you wish it would be. I remember practicing this during a time when my best friend was considering moving overseas. We had been inseparable for years, and the thought of them being on the other side of the world filled me with dread. But instead of suppressing that fear, I embraced it. Every day, I imagined what life would be like without them. I pictured myself going about my routines, hanging out with other friends, and finding joy in new things. By the time they actually moved, I wasn't blindsided by grief or loneliness. The loss still stung, but I had already mentally rehearsed it, and that made all the difference. Negative visualization also teaches you to accept that loss is a natural part of life. Everything you cherish will one day be gone, either through separation, change, or death. This isn't meant to be a morbid thought, but a liberating one. When you stop expecting permanence, you stop feeling entitled to it. When you stop feeling entitled to something, the fear of losing it diminishes. Take relationships, for example. Most of us, when we enter a relationship, assume it will last forever. We don't plan for things to end. But the truth is, nothing is guaranteed. Rather than clinging to the false hope of permanence, the Stoic approach is to appreciate what you have while you have it, knowing that it will eventually change. This shift in perspective can be incredibly freeing. Rule 4. Focus on what you can control. One of the core principles of Stoicism, as taught by Marcus Aurelius, is the distinction between what is in our control and what isn't. When it comes to emotional detachment, focusing on what you can control is a liberating practice. Emotions often surge when we fixate on things outside our control, other people's actions, outcomes, or events. We have no power over how others behave, how situations unfold, or how long someone will remain in our lives. But we do have control over how we respond to those situations, over our thoughts and actions. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about accepting what life throws at us without being overwhelmed by it. He famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This understanding is central to emotional detachment. When you focus on your reactions, you free yourself from the uncontrollable chaos outside. For example, if someone close to you begins distancing themselves, the natural emotional reaction might be confusion, sadness, or anger. These feelings are valid, but they are also largely a result of your interpretation of the situation. If you shift your focus to what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your response, you empower yourself to detach from the emotional storm. By concentrating on how you can respond rather than what is happening externally, you reclaim your peace. When you can accept that you cannot control others or the course of events, you stop reacting with anxiety and instead act with clarity. I've faced many situations where my mind raced with worry over things I couldn't change, like the uncertainty of a relationship or the behavior of a friend. Yet, when I turned inward and reminded myself that I could only control my actions, my perspective shifted. Instead of obsessing over the outcome, I focused on my own response, whether it was taking a step back, communicating more clearly, or simply accepting that not all connections last forever. In doing so, I preserved my peace of mind. Rule 5. Embrace the present moment. The Stoics were keenly aware of how much time we spend, either ruminating over the past or worrying about the future. Both can keep us tethered emotionally to things we can no longer change or control. The key to emotional detachment lies in embracing the present moment, in practicing mindfulness and focusing on what is happening right now. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of focusing on the present, stating, "The present moment is all you can control. Don't waste your time worrying about what could have been or what might be." His words remind us to bring our attention back to the present, the only time we can truly influence. When it comes to emotional detachment, living in the present means releasing attachment to past events, mistakes, or expectations of the future. We we can get so caught up in what-ifs that we forget to live in the now. Whether it's reminiscing about a past relationship or obsessing over future outcomes, we can easily get lost in thought patterns that trigger emotional turmoil. One technique that has helped me in my own life is the practice of mindfulness. When faced with emotional discomfort, I take a deep breath and focus on the here and now. I remind myself that I cannot change what has already happened, nor can I predict the future. All I have is this moment, and within it, I have the power to choose my response. By redirecting your energy into the present, you stop allowing past hurts or future worries to control your emotions. Embrace the now. Engage with what's in front of you, whether it's a conversation, a task, or a moment of reflection, and release the emotional baggage tied to things beyond your reach. Marcus Aurelius' wisdom teaches us that emotional detachment is not about denying our feelings or running from them. Instead, it's about allowing ourselves to experience our emotions fully, then letting them pass without clinging to them. By embracing the present and practicing mindfulness, we find the space to release the emotional weight that no longer serves us. In conclusion, emotional detachment, according to Stoicism, is not about shutting down emotions, but about learning to respond to them in a balanced, thoughtful way. Through Marcus Aurelius' timeless wisdom, we can master the art of emotional detachment, reclaim our peace of mind, and navigate life's challenges with clarity and strength. If you enjoyed this video and found the insights helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means a lot and helps bring more content like this to you. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.